Oh, hey now, y'all. You caught me show prep, and I was right in the middle of scribbling notes furiously. But I will say a formal hey now, y'all, to all of y'all. Great to see everybody. Hey, look at Naomi. She's in the house. Rags, Leah, all of y'all. John Joseph, love you all. Don Peralta, and so on and so forth. Creative Tony, look at you. You've decided to hat up today. And you're also doing the very kind of contemporary and cool flat brim. Like you don't do the curled brim anymore. Your brim, I could cook flapjacks on that brim. It's so straight.
I'm anti. Some people call it the taco when they taco the hat. Like it's kind of looks like a. I'm anti, but I do a little bit, just a little bit of a bend.
Well, the bend,
like the side, a little bit of a bend, not too much though.
I feel like the curled brim or the bend, as you call it, kind of got phased out. I guess in the early 2000s, because it was all the rage in the 90s, dude. Everybody was curling them. And on top of that, you know what else was like the big thing in the 90s when you and I first met? And you were probably guilty of this too. Goatees for miles, dude. Every guy that I met had goatees. Remember the goatee craze? It started with Richie Aurelia. Then it went on to shout out one of the great early producers in Ticket 1050 history, Tony, your colleague and mine. The great Rick Foreman was a great goatee wearing dude. I believe you had a goatee. I had a goatee at one point too. My goatee was inspired by Tom Rathman because Tom Rathman had a goatee in the 80s. And I was like, dude, I love that. The crew cut and the goatee. I got to get me some of that. But anyway, I just was curious about your hat wear today. It's extremely flat, that brim.
Well, it's also Beer Week. This is Russian River Brewing hat. Shout out Beer Week. I want to shout out the local breweries here in San Carlos. We got the Alpha Acid Brewing. We have the Blue Oak Brewing. We have Devil's Canyon. We got a lot of good brewers, and we have Ale Arsenal. We have the Ale Arsenal Beer Hall, where it's literally just a beer bar. So happy Beer Week, everybody. We also have the Stout House in Redwood City that has good beers on tap. You can go to their beer garden. We're if you are a beer fan here on the peninsula, you've got a lot of choices the rest of this week. So enjoy, everybody.
Well, shout out Devo. That's short for De-Evolution, and their great track, Freedom of Choice. Freedom of Choice. By the way, don't sleep on Devo. I encourage everybody.
No, they're going back on tour, by the way.
Good. I'll see him. I'll go right to the gig. Mark Mothersbaugh. That guy's a freaking I'm serious. These guys are genius. They're way ahead of their time. Devo's kind of like a precursor to EDM and electronica.
Totally.
And they were doing this stuff
style-wise too. Like they're out there.
Really interesting band. And let me tell you one more thing. I didn't know I was going to be talking Devo today, but why not? Let's talk Devo for 5 seconds. No, because I always feel like, dude, if I can shoot my mouth off about a band or an artist that I like, and if one person can like get inspired to go check it out, then that's a win. Because then there's going to be Tony. There'll be more cool Devo fans out there. But check this out. It's a true story. The main like creative driving force in Devo is this guy named Mark Mothersbaugh, and he's done like thousands of scores for movies and TV shows. You'd be shocked how many things Mark Mothersbaugh's done outside of Devo. But dig this, Tony. He was a student at Kent State when those shootings happened in the early 70s. So he was and he was a flower child and he was a hippie. And when he saw his students getting shot down and killed, he was like, that's it. This hippie thing ain't working. We're protesting. They're shooting my friends dead. So he goes, you know what? This whole society is breaking down. We're going backwards. We're de-evolving, de-evolution. So it's like a concept. Like Devo
that's actually the name of their tour. That's the name of their tour that they're going on, the De-Evolution tour, I believe.
See? I can't wait. I hope there's a Bay Area gig. I'll be there. Anyway, shout out Devo. They're one of my favorites. Also, Creative Tony, looking forward to Friday. And we got a few announcements and housekeeping, and we'll dive into the show today. Tomorrow, we got our big Friday show. The one and only Kate Scott will be joining us. We're still working on the time. She did have a game last night. She must have texted me right after the game because Philly lost again to the New York Knicks. Tony, that's the Sixers' 9th straight loss.
9th loss. Dude, 9 in a row.
That's brutal. Yep. And Philly is a tough town to have a 9-game losing streak, as you know. Their fans
they're 20 and 38. 20 and 38. I mean, you think we had problems before Jimmy Butler came to town?
No, it's a great call, dude. Yeah, I got my own problems. Creative Tony. But anyway, so Friday, Kate Scott, we got the musical assignment happening tomorrow. We got the particle pick of the week. That's always a lot of fun. And I want to address a comment I saw from SF Charlie real quick, Tony, because he said, guys, give me the information about this Giants watch party. I'm happy to do that, and we'll continue to promote.
So,
Yeah, Tony, this one is for SF Charlie. Thanks for checking in today, brother. And here's what's happening. The good
is that
people
SF Cosmic Charlie, by the way? Is it Cosmic Charlie?
Cosmic Charlie, how do you do? Trucking in style along the avenue. Come on, man. Get back home. Your mom is calling you, bro. Get back home. Your mom is calling you. Dude, get back blanking home. Your mom's calling you. All right. It's Cosmic Charlie for life, Holmes. So, Charlie, this is for you, kid. We're going to do a watch party opening day, Giants baseball, Giants at Cincinnati. Now, keep in mind, this is not the home opener, but this is the official opening game of the Giants schedule 2025 season. So we'll be at Longbridge. Game is first pitch is at 1 o'clock. Charlie, we want to see you. Naomi, we want to see you. Dom, Robot, all of y'all. Rags, if you can get on a plane and fly out, you're welcome to join us too. Leah Phillips, you get out here. We want to see everybody at Longbridge on March 27th. We're gonna have a great time. So
yes, and the timing on that, Paulie, we're saying show up, get there at high noon. First pitch for Giants Reds season opener is 1:10. It's the Reds home opener. So we're not doing the Giants home opener. We're getting out in front of it. It's why wait till the home opener?
They're playing baseball.
The season opener. And Andrew, by the way, from Longbridge Pizza is checking in on the comment line from the Silverado chair at Palisades in Tahoe. Palisades, formerly Squaw Valley. He is on the chair right now, checking in and tuning into the show. So thank you, Andrew, for checking in.
Andrew, my man. I love Andrew. He's a cool cat, man. I like Andrew. I like his whole vibe, you know?
Yeah, me too. And as we like to, when our listeners and viewers give us feedback or send us things, we like to share them. So, Paulie, you mentioned Kate Scott, right?
Yeah.
So I want to share something that Sons of Johnny LeMaster sent me yesterday that he said he did. Let me present this to everybody. Sons of Johnny Lee sent this yesterday, and he said that he sent these to Kate a while back. So we're gonna revisit the quad to Kate Scott. Okay. And man. I know that Johnny Lee, Sons of Johnny Lee made quad to Murph and Max as well.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to give that a little shout out. Thank you for sending that in, Sons of Johnny LeMaster. And hey, maybe he has some extras that he could bring to Longbridge Pizza on March 27th. Who knows?
Who knows? Hey, Sons of Johnny Lee's always got some kind of swag in his knapsack when he shows up, dude. Could be a Rod Beck game jersey, could be a quad candlestick for Kate Scott. You know what's funny? Check this out, Tony. True story. One of our great listeners and friends, Sons of Johnny Lee. Yeah. He makes all this cool stuff, like this button you're looking at right here. So on my fridge in my kitchen, I got a lot of magnets and stickers and stuff like that. And I got 2 pieces of Sons of Johnny Lee memorabilia on my fridge right now as we speak.
Nice.
Yeah, one of them is a great Pearl Jam sticker he sent me from Prague. Dude, my man's catching Vetter in Prague, okay?
Dude.
So he sent me the Prague Pearl Jam. I really love that sticker, Sons. It's on my fridge. I know I sent you a picture of that. And I have the quaddy Murph and Mac button on my fridge as well with a little magnet on the back. So those things are awesome. And yeah, we want to see Hank will be there. I'm sure if Kate could be there, she will. She'll be there in spirit.
Of course, yeah. By the way, the comment line is actually suggesting a quad to PMP.
Well, I don't tell the great artists how to create their art. Exactly, like it's up to Sons. I'm not listen, if Sons is inspired, he'll be inspired, but I'm not going to tell him. Yeah.
We're all about the particles. So if we put it out in the universe, who knows what happens? Who knows what comes back at us?
I'd proudly rock that button, but I'm not going to I'm not telling Sons how to create his art. That's up to him.
God, no.
Tony, a few things for today. Now, we got some sports notes, but I'd like to start on kind of a unfortunate, kind of a tragic note, really. Before we dive into the sporting news of today and talk about the sporting life, shout out Marco Banez, we're going to talk about the sudden death of, well, not sudden. I mean, he was 95 years old, but Gene Hackman passed away. And
yeah, man. Bizarrely, too. Like,
I know.
His wife both passed away.
Well, let's get into this. Yeah, because, Tony, last night, I got to be honest with all of y'all, after the show last night, dude, I had so much fun. I have a great time on these Wednesday night shows. And we were laughing our asses off last night, especially with Big Boy on the roof and all that. Like, we had a great time. But Tony, I had a hard time coming down after that show. I really did. It took me a long time to decompress, bro. I did have my Bob Marley unmentionables at the ready. So I was trying to kind of calm myself down. A little herbal delish, dude. I was doing the Rasta thing where I was wafting it over my head. I really was.
Nice.
I was really letting it waft, just enveloping myself in a blanket of smoke.
Paulie, new rule. Anytime you mention Marley, I have a duty. So stand by.
Herb is a plant.
Thank you, Bob Marley, king of
Herbs
reggae.
are good for everything.
By the way, would you consider Bob Marley like the king of reggae? Is he like the ultimate figure?
He's pretty much the international ambassador, I'm sure, of reggae. But I mean, there's so many other talented people that were in his, in his nucleus, in his crew. That, I mean, Peter Tosh, and then Bunny Wailer,
Rita Marley too.
Rita Marley,
Yeah.
Cedella Marley, and Sir Cox, Sir Cox. I mean, the producer Dodd. I think it's Cox One Dodd. Yeah, and
I don't know.
There's all these there's producers in Jamaica that helped him like get started, and also like Chubby Checker and Fats Domino that were big influences on Bob Marley. And like if you look at old Wailers footage of the Wailing Wailers before they were Bob Marley and the Wailers, they're all in like they were made ska music, and it was all fat, it wasn't the slower tempoed reggae music, it was all ska music influenced by American R&B, and they're wearing like tight suits and thin black ties, and there's no dreads, there's like short haircuts and everything. It's fascinating to check out the career arc in a short amount of time, the amount of changes that they all went through.
I want to go back to the Gene Hackman story, Tony, because last night it's okay. I was glad I asked the question. That's cool. And Tony, again, as I've said, if you're new to the show, welcome aboard. Great having you. Tony is like an encyclopedia of reggae knowledge. And I love that. I do. I love that about you because I'm not nearly as informed. So anytime I have a reggae question, and I go right to Tony, and Tony has an answer. But so Gene Hackman,
Lee Scratch Perry. Sorry, Paulie. Lee Scratch Perry. Also got to give him love too. Just mention, and Yellow Man. People on the comment line just getting deep into the reggae scene. I love it. But yes, Gene Hackman, Paulie. Gene Hackman. Sad day. Weird circumstances, dude.
Well, that's what I want to talk about. So Gene Hackman was 95 years old. He passed away in, I think, New Mexico in his home. His wife was with him. Now, here's the weird thing. They were both in separate rooms. Oh, there's a 30-year difference, though, so they might have separate bedrooms. That's fun. Like in the house, she has her place, he's got his place. That's not all that unusual for older couples, but I would say that there has been no cause of death attached to this yet. And I just saw a report right before we started the show today that said these circumstances are suspicious enough that there is going to be an investigation, like a thorough investigation into what's going on. It could be carbon monoxide, it could be gas, we don't know. But again, it is a little suspicious. But I'd like to say a couple things about Gene Hackman. I was a fan, like flat out. I was a Gene Hackman fan. The body of work, I'll just rattle off a couple. French Connection, Hoosiers, Unforgiven, Mississippi Burning. He had that great role in Get Shorty. He played the a producer in Hollywood. I really like that role.
Yeah, that's good.
But French Connection might be my favorite, actually, where he played a cop, a really tough New York City cop named Pop. And you know what, Tony? That's a true story. The French Connection. It was about, I believe, it was the biggest heroin bust in the history of New York City when it happened in the early 70s. And Gene Hackman played the cop that kind of initiated the bust and everything. And Roy Scheider is in that too. And it's an excellent movie. I recommend it. If you've never seen French Connection, definitely check it out. Really gritty, really a lot of like great New York street stuff from the early 70s. And Rags is talking about his role as Mr. Luthor in Superman.
Yeah, dude, Lex Luthor, dude, in Superman.
Lex Luthor, yeah.
And Paulie, we also need to recognize his role as the senator in the Birdcage, in the remake of the Birdcage, dude.
Great call. Great call.
I mean, you want to talk about an underrated role for him. He was, and Robin Williams, that movie, by the way, go back and revisit that movie. That movie was so fantastic, man.
He did so many. Yeah.
Yes, he did. You go back and look at go to IMDb or go to Wikipedia and check out his career and all of the work he did. And then of course Hoosiers. I mean, that role. Joseph the Scarf, your buddy and mine, Paulie, he texted earlier saying that he watches Hoosiers every year before the tournament, before March Madness.
Nice.
And now it's going to just hit even differently. It was also discussed on a text thread with my buddies that arguably Gene Hackman could be the best actor, of the last 60 years, if you look at what he's done.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's just, I mean, yes, like you said, 95. So that's a hell of a run. If I can get 90, I'm stoked.
Yeah.
But like the circumstances are bizarre, and I don't mean to go down to a dark road, Paulie, but I do want to just say, if you've ever seen the movie The House of Sand and Fog, filmed in Pacifica, by the way.
Okay. Oh, nice.
One of my
favorite towns. I love Pacifica. Yeah. Shout out Seabold. Rest in peace.
All I'm going to say is the couple in that movie, they make an exit together in their bed.
And like an orchestrated, like they set it up that way. Oh,
kinda.
Well,
kinda. I don't want to ruin the movie for people. Go check out The House of Sand and Fog, by the way. Great movie. Ben Kingsley. Ooh. Are you down with Ben Kingsley, by the way?
I think sure.
Phenomenal actor. But anyways.
Don't sleep on Ben Kingsley's cameo role in The Sopranos, dude. When Christopher Moltisanti's pitching that script to him, dude, it's unbelievable. He's calling him sir and stuff. Oh, sir. Dude,
that's a great call.
Sir Ben King. No, it's incredible. He goes, "Oh, geez, guys, I think I have another appointment. I'm so sorry." Christopher. I needed that laugh. Check it out. If you've never seen Ben Kingsley on The Sopranos, man, it's out of control. Go check that one out. And then, by the way, they have that really awkward meeting in Hollywood. And then they're flying back to the East Coast, and freaking Kingsley is on the same plane as Moltisanti, and Christopher's like looking at him like over his seat and stuff.
Dude, Christopher, man, I don't think Christopher gets enough love in the Sopranos saga. Like in the whole story, everybody talks about Tony and Paulie and
Moltisanti for life, dude. Moltisanti for life, for life. Dude, let me tell you a couple things. First of all, he was a former guest on the Paulie Mac podcast when we were at KMBR. Because he's also like a serious writer. He writes novels and stuff, and he was promoting one of the books he had written. And it was completely different from the Christopher persona. He's very soft-spoken. He's like, "Oh, thank you, Paulie. It's very nice to be here today." He's like,
he's also great on White Lotus. If you saw White Lotus, season 2, White Lotus, he's great.
Yeah, with the hookers and everything.
Yes, he's great.
Goes up to the front desk. He's trying to get the room keys for like his 2 hookers, escorts that he's going to be dealing with all week. And he's like, "I've got some friends here, and they're going to need room access." And all it's like, the whole thing was cool. But great call. He's awesome on that too.
You know what I love about this show, by the way, Paulie? And I'm just saying, because Paulie and I had our pre-show meeting. We talk about, we want to talk about the Packers and their tush push. I do activity. And we want to talk about Tony's top 3, which involves some NFL stuff and some dub stuff. But I love it that we're 17 minutes in, dude, and we're talking Moltisanti. That's what I love.
That's where the currents took us, dude. The river just rolled into a Moltisanti part of the show, which I'm happy to do. I'll give you a Moltisanti tribute any day of the week. One more thing on that guy, Michael Imperioli. He also Spike Lee uses him to write screenplays for his movie. So Michael Imperioli has written some of the Spike Lee movies, like the dialogue. So he's super talented guy. Anyway, back to Hackman for a second, and then we'll get into your tush push. I got a couple of Warriors notes. I got college hoop I want to get into too. And bad on me and you, both of us. Shame on us. Slap my own wrist here. I forgot to promote Todd Gurlifson for tomorrow too, USF head coach. He will be joining us on the program tomorrow as well. In fact, we're going to, truthfully, we're going to talk to him this afternoon, but we'll tape that interview, and then we'll play it for you on the high noon broadcast tomorrow.
And also the Dons 74-72 win against the Oregon State Beavers. So the Dons are 23-7, dude. That's a hell of a season.
I'm so happy for USF. We're going to get there in a second. One final Moltisanti note from Rags, as usual. He's always got something. He goes, don't forget, he was also Spider in Goodfellas. When Joe Pesci blows him away, he's serving drinks, and he goes, "Dance that drink over to me, you stuttering prick," and all that. Like, next thing you know, he goes, first thing he shoots him in the foot. He goes, "All right, I shot him in the foot." Well, don't make a big deal about it. Don't make a big deal. Next scene, he shoots him and kills him. Anyway, yes, that is Spider. That is the very same Michael Imperioli. So,
by the way, Cosmic Charlie, I got to say SF Charlie. By the way, SF Charlie, we've kind of renamed you Cosmic Charlie, but
great try.
I didn't even catch this, but I guess one of us said Todd Gurlifson, but Chris Gurlifson is the head coach's name.
I think
I didn't even catch it. If you said it or I said it,
I think I said it. Sorry.
Thank you, Cosmic Charlie, and yes, Todd Golden, former Dons coach.
Yeah,
so
you're just combining two coaches. Hey, at least I didn't say Rex Gurlifson. You know what I mean? Yeah. I could have. My buddy Rex Walters. Yeah,
totally. Dude.
Yeah. All right, you know what?
Man. Yeah.
Let's get into it. So USF last night, I'm so happy for USF. They have clinched a top 3 seed in the WCC tournament. So that's great news. They won last night in Oregon State. Tight ball game too, bro. They won by 2 points, 74-72. And I think the big thing about this season for USF and I can't wait to talk to Coach about this, is the fact that I have to imagine, Tony, they're going to the March Madness tournament, right?
Oh, it's going to be, wow. It's going to be tough.
Don't talk to me like that.
It's going to be, it depends on what happens in the WCC tournament, man, because with St.
Do they have to win the whole thing to go?
No. Maybe the WCC might get 2 bids. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's just,
I think they should get 2 bids. I really do.
I agree.
St. Mary's and the Dons,
yeah, but with St. Mary's and Gonzaga ahead of the Dons, right? It's, or maybe not, I think the Dons and Gonzaga are tied. Is that correct? Anyways, and that's why Saturday's game, I don't know if it means much anymore because of they've clinching a top 3 spot. Both teams have clinched a top 3 spot.
Yeah,
I'd be curious to see how both coaches, we can ask Coach Grilson about that, how they're going to approach Saturday's game at Chase Center. But there's no chance that they're going to get 3. So they have to probably either win the WCC tournament or beat St. Mary's or Gonzaga to get into March Madness. It's going to be tough.
I don't want to get into it.
It would be great to see the Dons.
I know, man. It really would. I want that so badly. And I think in my whole, I think from 96 to the present day, I'm thinking right now, Tony, I think they've only gone to the tournament twice, unless I'm forgetting. The
Dons?
Yeah. I think
I'm not positive.
Since the late 90s, I remember they went once. I think they've gone twice, but the point is, it's a big deal when USF can get into the dance. So I hope that happens. And I think, it's funny. We talk about the Golden State Warriors and like our expectations and how deep we think they can go. With USF, for me, I think it's a win just to get them into the tournament. You know what I mean? If they can win a couple of games, that's fantastic. But I think just getting there is a win, and that helps recruiting and that helps everything else. And I think that USF needs that kind of exposure, Tony, to get bigger recruits to come and play there. But they're definitely on the right track. I mean, this is a great.
This kid Malik Thomas, man, he's stud, flat out stud. I think he's averaging 20 a game or 19 a game, dude. He's fun to watch, man. So
Malik Thomas,
they got an exciting squad. Although, talking to my cousins, Kimmy and Mike, who both are Gonzaga fans, and they did like a study abroad program through at Gonzaga. They are telling me about this 7-footer that played earlier this week and hadn't played all season for Gonzaga. And all of a sudden now Gonzaga is going to start busting out this 7-footer for the tournament. It's like, God damn it. Gonzaga they always have these kids that just they Mark Few. They just do a great job. I got to tip my cap. They do a great job.
They do, and so does Randy Bennett. Obviously, what he's done over there in Moraga is it's really incredible. I think someday, like when he's done coaching and they retire, we look back on his career, dude. We're gonna be like, this guy. He's one of the great coaches in Bay Area college history. I mean, he really is.
Dude, Randy Bennett could walk into the bar, the Roundup in Lafayette, and probably never buy a drink ever, which is like right next to, there's the La Marinda corridor over there, Paulie.
I've done some time over there. Yeah.
For those that don't know, the La Marinda corridor means Lafayette, Moraga, Orinda, La Marinda. And there's a great bar there called the Roundup. When I went to St. Mary's, that we used to frequent. And I wonder if Randy Bennett has ever spent any time, maybe post-game after a nice W, go to because there used to be a bar called the Moraga Barn, which was right there in Moraga, but that's no longer. There's a good brewery there called the Canyon Club there now in Moraga, but the Roundup in Lafayette is like old school, not divey, but kind of. You know what I'm saying, Paul? Yeah. I feel like every town needs kind of like in San Carlos. We have the Orchid Room here in San Carlos, which is like our dive bar.
Yeah.
But man, you go in there, dude. Oh man, it's a scene. Always a scene. Does San Rafael, does Marin have like a divey bar?
There's actually a bar on 4th Street. I think the cross is H, the letter H, 4th and H, and I don't and it's I don't know what it's got, like a rockabilly vibe. Like they got like this kind of 50s, but here's the craziest thing. There's no sign. It has no name. Like I cannot give you the name of this place. That's how divey it is. There's just a bar on like 4th and H. If you guys are in San Rafael, you know what I'm talking about. Let me know if this place has a name, but there's no sign. And I've only been in there. I've only been in there one time, and I kind of got the creeps. I was like, I don't think these guys want me in here because it felt like there was something going on, like that I intruded on when I walked in there. And it was like when I first moved to San Rafael, like 10, 11 years ago, whatever it was, 12 years ago, I guess.
Sure.
And I walked in there. I'm like, oh, cool. This bar's right near my house. I walk in and like everybody turned and looked at me and shit. And I'm like, are you guys open? You know what I mean? It's like one of those things. So I never went back. But the bar I go to probably more than any in San Rafael is the Flatiron. I really like.
Oh yeah.
And I wouldn't call that
a great spot.
I wouldn't call that a dive, but I do like going in there a lot. Just
Paulie, next time you're in San Carlos, I'm taking you to the Orchid Room. I think it closes at 2 a.m. and reopens at 6 a.m. And so it's only closed for like 4 hours, dude. And I want to take you there because it's always, if I'm out here in town and I hear people, hey, we're going to the Orchid Room next, it's a fork in the road, dude. Because if you decide to make that next move to the Orchid Room, your night's gonna take a turn for not necessarily the better. You know what I'm saying?
I do know exactly what you're saying. And Tony, I'm getting a lot of help from my friends on the comments line. So let me get to these guys. So Andrew is saying, no, not Andrew. I'm sorry, but what's up, Andrew? Good to see you, bro. Aspiring botanist says, don't forget about Matucci's. That is a good spot. Yep. Matucci's, that's right over here too.
Different sport.
And then what?
He says Matucci's is a different sport. That's pretty funny, man.
It is. Matucci's is the bar, Tony, that has it's on Sir Francis Drake, and it's got like the statues of the Blues Brothers outside. Do you know the place I'm talking about? Do you know that joint?
No.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. That's a kind of divey. It's a good call.
It's in San Anselmo. Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, Anselmo. Yeah, right over there. But where I live, I'm like right on the border of San Anselmo. Like I could throw a rock and I'll hit San Anselmo. That's how close to the border I am. Totally. So, and then I saw one other thing. Oh, it was Naomi. Naomi goes, yeah, man, Rockabillys are haters. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I actually kind of like the Rockabilly scene. I do. I like the tattoos. I like that whole kind of pinup thing. The ladies do, and the dudes with their, like Brian Setzer, that whole look with the rolled up sleeves and shit.
Oh, like Brian Setzer for life, man. He is incredible.
Great guitar player. Great guitar player. He comes to San Francisco with he has that Brian Setzer orchestra, and he does those Christmas shows at the Warfield. I've always wanted to go to one of those. I've never seen them.
I bet you he has a great holiday album we could probably find on vinyl.
He does. I actually have one of his. Yeah, okay. He does. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell. You know what I mean? Like in his voice and all that. Anyway, one more college basketball note I wanted to shout out today. Pardon me. I wanted to shout out Rick Pitino. He made some history last night. So our buddy Sons of Johnny Lee was all excited last night because he won some dough on the St. John's game. And with that St. John's win,
that's awesome.
This is pretty wild. Check this out. They now clinch a piece of the Big East title. So Rick Pitino, did you see the story about Pitino, Tony?
No.
Okay. Pitino became the first coach in Division I history to win conferences with 5 different schools. That is pretty amazing.
That's crazy.
St. John's,
crazy.
Yeah, St. John's is now the 5th since he won last night. Also includes Kentucky, Boston University, Iona, and Louisville.
Jesus.
5 different schools he's won conference titles with. That is pretty damn amazing. So St. John's will go back to the tourney this year. And we know what he did with Kentucky and Louisville. He had a lot of great success. Where is Creative Tony on Rick Pitino? That's a guy like we never talk about, Rick Pitino. How do you feel about Pitino?
First of all, I got to give him props to whoever his plastic surgeon is on the eye lifts that he's gotten and like the pullback that he's gotten.
Are you being sarcastic? Or are you?
No. I'm being sarcastic on giving the plastic surgeon props, but I will say, like, man, he's had some work done.
Yeah.
But I will say, an incredible basketball coach, and I think he does a weekly show on, I don't know what streaming platform he does it on, but I saw a clip where he was ripping into these college basketball players. I'm like, yes, dude, that is the type of coaching that is needed more at that age. And he's telling them, like, nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody's going to want it for you. You have to want it for yourself. And if you don't want it, then get the hell out of here. I mean, and he's also talking about, I'm not St. John's. If you want to talk St. John's basketball, you get Chris Mullen up in here right now, because that is St. John's basketball.
Yeah, and that's true. Yeah,
it was great. It was really, really. It's on Vice. Thank you, Sons of Johnny Lee Master. It's on Vice. It's on Pitino and St. John's. If you check it out on Vice, it's really good. But yeah, I've got nothing but. I mean, it's funny with these college coaches. They're all successful and they're all good. The ones that but you have to wonder what goes on behind closed doors. You know what I mean? All the very successful programs. Well, in football and basketball.
You're talking about in terms of violations and stuff? Is that what you're talking about?
Or bending the rules, or like backdoor payments or gifts, or I don't know. Hey, I'm just saying, and I'm not accusing Pitino as the only one. I'm just sure that all those guys.
Hey, we're trying to win some games. You know what I mean? Right. We're trying to win some ball games. Right. Put Patty from Napa up. She's a super. Thank you, Patty. We love you, and thank you so much. You do your vendor meeting. Take care of your career. Don't worry about us. We'll still be here riffing. Don't worry. Do Patty your thing, and thank you, Patty. She really is. She is the best. I want to see Patty on March 27th. I think we will. Also, Creative Tony, again, as we keep saying these days, very much looking forward to afternoon basketball with the Golden State Warriors. They start that 5-game road trip today. They'll be in Orlando. I got to be honest, Tony, I'm expecting another win. That's all. I'm expecting another win. They have now climbed up. They're the number 8 seed in the West.
Yep.
And they're only a couple of wins behind LA. Like, they could jump to the 5 spot with not that much difficulty. That's how tight the West is. The bottom of the West, it's a logjam. And right now, dude, make some room. Here come the Warriors, bro. I am feeling very confident about what these guys are doing, and I look forward to the game today, T. 4 o'clock Orlando.
Yeah. Orlando's 29-31, so it's very similar team, but obviously Orlando didn't just get Jimmy Butler, so they don't have this like surge of energy the way the Warriors do.
Yeah,
and it's funny looking at the 7 games that the Warriors have played with Butler. They beat Dallas, impressive. They beat Houston, impressive. Beat Milwaukee.
No, they didn't beat Dallas. Remember, they lost to Dallas. That was the loss.
They've played Dallas twice. They lost to him once, and they beat him once.
So you're talking about okay.
They just beat him before Charlotte. Remember,
true story.
But then they lost to Dallas a few games back.
Yes.
So I'm just saying that yes, I'm impressed by some of those games, but also I want to see them go up against a juggernaut with this new Butler infusion and see how they do.
Well, the juggernauts, if you're talking juggernauts, I guess we're talking OKC, Cleveland, Boston.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about I don't know who else would you consider that's a strong word, juggernaut. I think Boston is very good.
Yeah, Boston's very good.
I think Cleveland, but how about this? You ready for this? It may shock the world on this one. I think Cleveland can go toe-to-toe with Boston, the way Cleveland's playing right now.
Totally. Absolutely.
And I'll be honest with you, I will root for the Cleveland Cavaliers in that series because I want some new blood. Like, I got to be honest, Tony, I'm not crazy about this Celtics team. I know they won a title last year and everything, but I'm not. There's something about them. I don't know. It's a kind of a bland Boston Celtic team. Good for them. They got their title. I still consider them to be like a very good team. I don't know if they're great. Do you think the Celtics are great? I'm just, I don't know.
I don't know, but like I'm looking at the Dubs schedule right now, and at the end of this, towards the tail end of this road trip, they play the Knicks at the Garden. That is a matchup I'm very curious to see how they do.
When is that game, Tony?
That is Tuesday, March 4th. Tuesday, March 4th.
Yeah,
that's going to be a good matchup. I also want to see them when they host Denver on March 17th. That'll be another one. Like
there you go. I forgot about Denver. Thank you. That's a good. Right? Yes, you got to always deal with Denver.
They played Denver twice in the final stretch. So
good. That'll be a very good.
Both here at Chase Center. Do they have a Denver and then Houston back to back on April 4th and April 6th? Man, those are going to be 2 toughies. So I want to see them tested against, because I love what's going on with the Butler infusion. I love it. Of course, how could you not? And everybody's vibing, and this is a little hint towards Tony's top 3. But like the feel good, we're all feeling good.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see them purely tested against like a really strong club. Dallas is good. Houston's good. I just want to see them against a really, really good club like New York. I mean, I'm very excited for that Knicks game.
Me
too. The Garden too, man. At the Garden. God, if I could if I was just like uber wealthy, you could just fly over for the day and just like spend the night in Manhattan and then come back the next day. God, man.
Yeah, I'd like to pull gangster shit like that too. Right. I don't have the private plane ready yet, though. You guys, maybe a few more supers will help us get there. Guys, we're starting our private plane fund now. If you want to kick in, fly as many as I can to the Garden.
Well, just throw the army into the plane like Iron Maiden, right? Yeah. Iron Maiden has their own plane. Why can't we?
You got the lead singer flying that goddamn plane. Imagine that, like flying planes. He's fencing. Bruce Dickinson. He's a handful. Creative Tony, I got to tell you, Steph Curry loves playing at the Garden, as a lot of the great ones do. And Steph always tries to light it up. I think he had his first ever 50-point game. I think that was at the Garden when he was very young in his career. And he's like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, he is on record as saying Madison Square Garden is my favorite building to play in. And there is something about the energy of that building, man. It's like right there on 33rd Street. That's right in the middle of the city. If you've never been. Chaos outside, dude. Cabs are going 8 million miles an hour. It's just a madhouse. But that energy spills into the building, whether it's a Rangers game, a Knicks game, a concert, a freaking rodeo. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
there is an electricity at MSG that's very, very unique. And I love it. I love going to the game. In fact, I went last year. I went to the Warriors Knicks game at the Garden last year. Thank you, Raymond Ritter.
Nice.
And I wore my Warriors gear and everything, and it was great, dude. Steph Curry does what Michael Jordan used to do, where he just packs buildings. Totally. And I will tell you, one of the things that really surprised me was the amount of Steph Curry jerseys in the crowd in New York. Mm-hmm. I was like, wow, man, people freaking love Steph. When you get out of the Bay Area, you see it's not just us. It's like a national thing, Tony. People love Curry no matter where he goes.
No question. And can I give a shout out to the Hotel Pennsylvania across the street from the Garden? That is no longer.
Some time in there. Yeah.
I've stayed at the Hotel Pennsylvania multiple times.
That's the move.
A couple times.
That's a gangster move. You're right across the street. I know.
Right across the street.
How about the bar, dude? The bar scene before a show, it's mayhem. Freaking mayhem at the
mayhem. Yeah. That's why I seen a show at the Garden. It's not just the actual show at the Garden; it's the whole scene around it, man. And what's that plank that you can walk on from like the village all the way to the Garden? It's an old train track, I think.
That like Skyway thing. I've never done that. Yeah,
I've done it. Paulie, it's great. It's great, man. It's fantastic. I highly recommend it. It's a great
Tony
walk.
talking New York. I love this, Tony. We got to take a field trip to New York. That's one thing I've always wanted to do with Tony is drag his ass around New York City because I probably know a couple spots like you wouldn't. Honestly, like
totally.
I spent a lot of time in that
High Line. Sorry. Dom Peralta just checked in the High Line. That's what it's called, the High Line.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dom.
Well, someday we will. We'll do our New York trip. I don't know when, but it will happen.
And Manhattan is such a great walking town. It's the same way San Francisco is such a great walking city. They're just certain cities, certain downtowns, like Chicago, also great walk-in town. I'd love to just walk all over the place in that town.
I'd throw Boston in the mix too. I'd throw Boston in the mix. Boston,
absolutely.
If you have not been to Boston, anybody watching today, it's a lot like San Francisco. Actually, it's very similar. It's like similar size, similar kind of layout, like not too big but not small. Like I like Boston a lot as a
Paulie,
town.
And your spot that I've been to as well, Santarpio's in Boston.
Oh, dude, Santarpio's. So Santarpio's. East Boston, not glamorous. There's nothing glamorous about this joint.
There's nothing glamorous about Santarpio's at all. But it's
I dragged Murph in there when we went to Fenway a couple of years ago, 2019, I think it was 6 years ago. Wow. In any case, I dragged Murph over to Santarpio's. He was blown away, dude. Blown away.
Yeah.
Full color post. This is Boston now. Full color poster of Mike Eruzione, the captain of the 1980 Olympic hockey team, on the wall with his gold medal on, with his hands up. Like you couldn't find a more Boston place than Santarpio's. Last thing on Santarpio's, that's where Whitey Bulger used to eat his pizza, dude. Believe that?
Yes.
That's where Whitey Bulger used to go. That's what they say on the streets. And I do not mess around with Whitey Bulger. Rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no,
I don't want to
not at all, man.
Anybody. Yeah. I don't want any Whitey's guys looking for me at all. I don't need it.
If you are ever in Boston, go check out Santarpio's because it's. I mean, I remember. But by the way, that's when Kevin Youkilis was playing with the Red Sox, and he told us about how you can order sausage. Or I'm sorry, not sausage. You can order. What is it? You dunk your olive juice or whatever. It's like juice from the olives, where you can dunk your pizza into. And they're like, that was like an old school move that they did at Santarpio's. I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah, they do that at the bar. There's like an old man doing that, like getting that olive oil and stuff. I know it's like a whole
pepper juice. Maybe it's pepper juice. Yeah, that's good. It's oh man, sorry. Now we're on Santarpio's. Paul, I want to talk about. Can we a total horrible segue? But you know what's not a good walk-in town is Green Bay, Wisconsin. And we're going to talk Green Bay Packers. I don't think I've ever been a bigger Packer fan than today, because of the fact that they are trying to get the tush push outlawed. Paul, that's a big deal. In my book, that's a big deal because we've said on this show, it's not football. It's not football.
Well, I don't think it is. It seems more of a rugby kind of play to me, where you've got the entire team like pushing from behind. Let me ask you a question about this, because I don't want to sound like too much of a. So Sirianni came out in response to that, and he said, this is what he said. He goes, "This isn't fair." He goes, "This isn't fair that you're trying to outlaw a play that's been extremely successful for us." So here's my question: if the Niners were running that play successfully, I'm just asking. We're just talking. How would you feel? Would you support it? I mean, I bet you would, because we'd be scoring touchdowns with it. And I'm still shocked on that note that other teams are not doing the copycat number. I can't believe nobody else is running that yet. But what if we use that here in San Francisco? Would you still hate it?
If they decide, yeah, I wouldn't. I would. I wouldn't hate it, but I wouldn't love it. And I'm like you said, of course, we're scoring points and winning games. Sure, I'm gonna be a proponent, but I don't. It's not football, so I'd rather them take a stance and say, you know what, this isn't football. We have the ability to make a rule against it and get it out of the game. But if they're not going to outlaw it, then yes, everybody should start doing it to where it's more common and it's not such a big deal that just Philly does it. And again, Buffalo should be embarrassed the way they tried to run it. And Josh Allen, the great athlete that he is, should be embarrassed about how he could not run that. Dude, Josh Allen is a big dude.
He's really strong too. He's got a lot. Obviously, he runs right over guys. Yeah,
I would say he's bigger than Jalen Hurts. And the fact that he would step back into the side and then dive in, it's like, dude, no. Yeah. The whole point of the tush push is that you don't spend time doing that, is that you just dive forward and then the people behind you push you. But that is not football, dude. So I'm saying if the Niners run it, sure. If you can't beat them, join them because it's still legal. I just want it illegal and out of the game. And Green Bay and the Packers, thank you. Matt LaFleur, thank you.
You know, it's
Seriously,
funny.
Thank you.
Originally, it was filed, that motion, I think, was filed with the league office like anonymously, like nobody knew which team had submitted that. But it turned out to be the Green Bay Packers. They're the one. So, you know,
that's great.
I still don't know how to feel about this thing. I don't like it personally. That's my opinion. I don't like the play. Because like you keep saying, I don't know that it's actually an authentic football play, but I don't know if this play is going to get banned. I don't, there's no way to predict it. I don't know. Do you have a sense how you think the league might rule on something like this?
I think that's a really good question, Paul.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to predict what the league offices will say about this. And
so here's the thing. If they don't outlaw it, then you're just going to start seeing this play all over football. And that means fourth downs that carry much less weight. Goal line stands are gone. There's no such thing as a goal line stand anymore. It's just because it's not football.
Okay,
it's not football. Because you could stop the tush push maybe once, right? But then if they run it 3 times in a row, you're not going to stop it 3 times in a row. You saw it, the Eagles against the Commanders, dude.
They ran it like 7 times. Well, the Commanders did stop it a couple of times. They stopped
it once, and then they got called for penalties.
Yeah,
after over and over and over because they were trying to jump. They were trying to jump the snap.
That D-back, but dude, jumping over.
Come on. Think about that shitty style of football. That wasn't football. That was an embarrassment to the game, in my opinion, dude.
Well, you know what's so funny about that is that's the game where the ref was on the field going, if this continues, we're going to award the Eagles a touchdown. And we went nuts. Right. We were on the air going, wait a second, what would I've never seen anything like that said on a football field in my entire life where the ref says we're going to award this team a touchdown if this continues. But I would say, in defense of the Washington Commander defense, they were simply trying to stop the play. Like, listen, if you're going to run that kind of shit,
I'm not faulting the Commanders defense.
No, I know.
They did exactly what they could.
That's
they did exactly what they could. But, dude, what else can they do? I mean, a legit goal line stand like Dan Buns in the Super Bowl, dude. That won't happen anymore.
Danny Buns. Yeah.
But think about how much we love that stand. And when it happened, it was epic.
Yeah.
That if the tush push was happening back then, that doesn't happen, dude. And Cincinnati does it. And I hate the way the Eagles line up. And it's like, it's a guarantee what's going to happen. And it just sucks for the entire game. I'm sorry, dude. It's like, and Paulie, if this was the Chicago Bears running the tush push instead of the Eagles, or if it was the freaking Tennessee Titans running it, I would still feel the same way because it's just not football, man. I can't stand it. It drives me insane.
All right, so a couple other football comments real quick. No, this is good. I want to stay on this, but I just see this is breaking report here that Travis Kelce has basically announced he will play next year. The quote he issued is, I, quote, can't go out like that. Guess what, Holmes?
Sorry, who, Paulie?
Travis Kelce.
Oh, Kelce, gotcha.
So we got another year of Taylor Swift and all that bullshit. You're gonna get like the OD of like, there she is in the suite again. Wee.
Well, it also came out he was battling an illness for the Super Bowl. Dude, get in line. Get in line, Travis. Everybody's battling something. Everybody's battling something for the Super Bowl. Come on,
poor
man.
guy. Did you have the sniffles? I'm so sorry, Travis. That's terrible. I'm so sorry to hear that. Did you know that Dwight Clark had a horrible stomach flu in the 1981 NFC Championship, the catch game? Yeah, Dwight Clark. I don't want to hear it. want to hear he had the sniffles. I don't want to hear that shit.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the less said about them, the better. Let me go back to the tush push, because you mentioned that Josh Allen play. And here's the thing in the AFC Championship. And by the way, how much of the complexion of our shows of the country, I'm going to go ahead and say for the whole goddamn country, would it have felt if Buffalo represented the AFC? Like if the Bills played the Eagles in that Super Bowl, dude, it would have been everything with the complexion would have changed entirely. So the play that you keep talking about has become like a poster boy example of why the league wants to go to electronic measurements for first downs, which they are going to do next year. If you missed the show last night or you didn't see the report, the NFL is now going to electronic measurements to, I guess the goal is to ensure accuracy. They want to guarantee that the spot of the ball is accurate. So they use electronics for that. Here's the thing, Tony, they keep showing that Josh Allen play over and over and over. Like I saw it last night like a dozen times with the story. That's why they want to do it. But I still wonder, I just don't know. Like, will there be a chip in the football? I'm wondering how they're going to execute this, the spotting. But that play that you keep talking about, Josh Allen running to his left, would you categorize that as an actual attempt at the tush push?
Yes, okay, because the running backs were right behind him and they tried to push him in, and he just stepped back into the side. And also Jim Nantz talked about it in the broadcast about how the
Kansas City defense.
Yeah, the Chiefs knew
they did. That he was going to go to his left. Yeah,
he was going to go to his left because they watched all the film and it was predictable. And it's like, dude, that's shame on you, Buffalo. That's brutal. Like, if the Niners, I'd be embarrassed as a Niners fan if that's how they tried to run the tush push. But I have a question for you, Paulie.
Go ahead.
You know how it's illegal for somebody on a PAT or a field goal to jump on top of their lineman to try and block a kick
for leverage? So
for leverage, because he's using his teammate to assist him in the play. So why is that illegal? But it's okay to assist your quarterback by pushing him into the end zone. Why is that legal, and why is the other play illegal?
Well,
it doesn't make sense. They're both helping. They're both. It's not cool. They both should be illegal. The play on PATs and field goals should be illegal, and the tush push should be illegal. And then we can stop saying that stupid fucking name and the brotherly shove and all that bullshit. It's not football, Paulie. I'm sorry.
I like Angry Tony. I'm a big fan of Angry Tony. The more Angry Tony, the better. Dude. I love when he gets salty like this, dude. No, I do. I love that part of you, and I don't get it enough. You're such a flower child. When you do get
flower child. Yeah, she's
don't know
my flower child.
What?
Dude,
I don't know
Lenny Kravitz. You know Lenny Kravitz. You know it. You know it.
Actually,
you know it.
I don't know if I do. What album?
Come on.
I don't know.
You don't know Flower Child by Lenny Kravitz?
I got Mama Said. I don't know. I don't know if I know Flower Child.
I think it's on Are You Gonna Go My Way, dude? Check out Flower Child, man. Seriously, great.
I will. I like your vocal again. The singing stylings are creative.
Well, you know how Kravitz can go low. He goes, "Yeah, she's my flower child," and it's like, dude. But then he goes, "Flower Child." It's a great rocker by Lenny, man. Lenny's early stuff. Mama Said, "Are You Gonna Go My Way?" The great albums. And
hey, let me stop you right there just to get a quick plug in. Since you mentioned Lenny Kravitz, I want to remind everybody I will be sitting in with Jimmy Dillon, the Jimmy Dillon Band. Tomorrow night at Sweetwater. And what's the connection to Kravitz? I'll tell you. Lenny Kravitz's drummer, his former drummer, Cindy Blackman. You've seen her. She's in the video. Are You Gonna Go My Way? She had the big afro.
Yeah.
She now went over to Carlos Santana's band. She married Carlos Santana, but her sister, Tracy Blackman, is going to be singing with us tomorrow night at Sweetwater too. Tracy Blackman, sister of Cindy. She is a great musician too. She's a guitar player and a singer, beautiful singer, and she'll be on stage with us tomorrow night. So stop by Sweetwater. We want to see you. It'll be a great time. Creative Tony, we're like rounding into the home stretch because I know we have.
I know.
Guys, we got to stop at noon today for a variety of reasons. But
I just want to show people Cindy. I want to show people Cindy. There's Cindy Blackman, the drummer that you were just talking about, Paulie.
Well, you know what's so
phenomenal
funny
drummer.
is Tracy Blackman is like identical. She looks like just like that. See if you can find a picture of Tracy Blackman.
I will. So there's Cindy, and I'll look for Tracy. But I also, you know how we're connected to Jimmy Dillon? Because the dude showed up on our show last night in a freaking robe. Dude.
He did.
And people were wondering if he did his research and knew that we wore robes.
No.
I
No?
highly doubt it.
No.
The fact it's just the particles, man.
That's
It's
how
the
he
particles.
rolls, dude. Jimmy Dillon is one of the coolest cats you're ever gonna meet. Like, he's so comfortable, he don't care. He's like, yeah, I'm in my robe, man. And by the way, I give him extra gangster points because when one of our listeners last night said, "Hey, what's that crest on Jimmy Dillon's robe?" And he was like, "Oh, I don't know." He goes, "I just borrowed this from a friend." Like that's gangster, dude. Borrowing somebody's robe. I've never pulled that move. Hey, Tony, can I borrow a robe? You know what I mean? Like, that's a gangster maneuver.
It's a personal item too. I don't know if you want to be like, dishing out your robes to people.
Well, now your junk is swirling around. It's brushing up again. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like a whole thing. I know.
Dude, that's like Kramer in Seinfeld when he's like, I
don't want my boys down there mixing with your boys. Yeah.
He's like, I'm out there, Jerry, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Jerry's like, I don't want your boys associating with my boys. And
the only thing separating us from him is a thin pair of gabardines.
Very good, T. Very good. Sorry. All right, let's round the corner for home stretch. Yes. You want to go
let's do 10 minutes of top three. No, let's do 10 minutes of top three, and then we'll call it a day. Okay, Pete?
All right, kids. Okay, we'll dismiss the class. But first, go ahead, T. Give it to me.
Stand by.
Tony's top three.
Oh, that's
Tony's top three. That's right. Tony's top three. Yeah. Ooh, right into it today. Well done, sir. Well done.
Okay, man. So I'm gonna get right into it, dude. So
sure.
We've already talked about the tush push, right? And I need to get back onto a happy plane. I need to be like Eddie Vedder. I like seeing happy people. Number one, yeah, exactly.
I like happy people.
Number one,
yeah.
Tom Brady hosted Matthew Stafford for his ski trip at his place in Montana. Okay. So now there's rumblings that the Raiders are going to trade.
I'm not laughing at you.
No, but the Raiders are going to trade for Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
Now, which would mean, and I read an article earlier that said the Rams would be perfectly happy with Garoppolo as their starter.
Uh-huh.
So I want to know how you feel about Stafford going. First of all, the imagery of Stafford and Brady, like just kind of cruising down the slopes, just kind of together.
Yeah.
For some reason, I imagine Brady wearing like a hooded ski jacket with like fur. You know what I mean? Like fur coming out. Or
I do. I know that. It's a hell of a
all
look.
Fancy and
hell of a look. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's from Italy. The jacket was made special in Italy, custom made. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. He's got special insulation installed, but like fabrics we don't even know exist. Like he's got special guys working for him in some lab. Yeah.
Also, did like Stafford bring out his 5 kids too? And like, was he like trailing him on the mountain?
Did Tom Brady ski down the effing mountain with a ski pole in one hand and some kind of like energy nutrition drink in the other, so he could like replenish his his needs as he goes down? Because you know how he's such a fanatic with all of his like whatever he puts in his body. Oh, my body. And I guess it worked. I mean, the guy won 7 Super Bowls. He did something right. But no, that's an objectionable image. I don't want to think about Brady and Stafford skiing down the hill. But and by the way, Leah Phillips goes, $10 says these guys go longer than 10 minutes with the top 3. We're already, you're a smart girl. You know us pretty well.
That's really funny, Leah.
It is funny.
I do know for a fact though, Bally, that the ice cream that Brady eats is made from avocados. I do know that for a fact.
I got no problem with that. I'll eat avocado ice cream. I will.
By the way,
anytime.
Shout out to just the almighty avocado. It's one of the greatest. And I also, don't you wonder too, back in the day, the first person to ever look at an avocado and say, you know what, I'm going to cut that open and see if it's something tasty in there.
It's soft to the touch, so you squeeze it. There's something in there. By the way, Karen Bell, thank you so much. She's a great super checking in on a Thursday afternoon broadcast.
Oh my God, Karen! Wow, Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Karen, and welcome to the show. It's great to see you.
Yeah, Karen, this is great. Thank you. Hey, you're super. You are super. Yes.
And this avocado riff is for you, Karen Bell. My question for Creative Tony is, what is the name of the Pearl Jam album with the avocado on the cover? Which, by the way, that's a gangster move right there. Let's talk about the album cover art. What are you guys thinking? Yeah, we could do like a city thing. We could be like, we'll shoot us in front of a brick wall, and then everybody, how about we just put an avocado on the cover? So there's an avocado on the cover. What album is that, Tony?
It's literally just called Pearl Jam. And so I always just refer to it as the avocado album.
It's an effective cover because it's an avocado cut in half with like the pit showing, right? Isn't the pit visible on the album cover?
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Album right there.
Yeah, that's the one. Nothing. Just Pearl Jam and an avocado. Give me some of the tracks on that record, T.
I think it's Life Wasted Reprise, Worldwide Suicide, Comatose, Severed Hand, really Parachutes, Come Back. The album's fantastic. It's just a fantastic album.
I don't listen to that one a lot. Should I do more time with the avocado?
Are we allowed to do like demerits on this show? Like, can we give demerits?
Yeah, sure, man. I like that. Give me a demerit.
You deserve like 10 demerits for not knowing that, not getting into that album. Dive in, please.
Okay, I know. And Tony, the truth of the matter is, Tony has talked about the avocado record a lot to me over the years. So you've been encouraging me to get there. All right, that's number one. Let's get on to number two. What do you got,
well,
kid?
Do you want to see Stafford in the silver and black? Yes or no? Do you care?
Yes. I want to see him in the silver and black. How do you like that?
Same.
Yes.
Same.
Go to wait, because I want the Raiders to be relevant again. Honestly, I don't hate the Raiders. I'm not one of those guys. I know a lot of Niner fans hate them. I don't hate the Raiders. So I would like to see the Raiders. I think the NFL is more interesting when the Raiders are relevant. Let them get into a slugfest with the Chiefs and the Chargers, like that whole division. So bring the Raiders back in. Get Stafford to Vegas. I'm down.
Get Stafford to Vegas, and it also creates a fun NFC West tilt against the Rams if Garoppolo is under center.
By the way, let me ask. It does. That would be a very interesting.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
I ain't got nobody. Creative Tony, I do want to say one last thing about Stafford. Can a God-fearing man, a man of the good book of the Lord, which he is, he's a really he's a very devout religious person. How can that coexist in Sin City? Creative Tony, answer that question.
Ooh, well, then you have a conflict of interest, Paulie.
It's a very complicated,
Yeah, I mean, but then maybe he just goes right to confession the next morning. Right? He dives into a lot of debauchery, and
but his confessions
right into confession.
Yeah, his confessions are probably lame, though. He's like, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I watched a Disney movie last night, and I didn't take the decoder off or something. You know what I mean? He'd have some, really, uninteresting confessions. Creative Tony, now, you want me to confess? Now, I'll keep you guys busy for a couple days. Let's go back to, get me back to the top three. Now I'm determined to get out by noon. We got 3.5 minutes. Tony, go.
Oh, man, that's good. All right, number two.
Yes.
Number two.
Yes. I want to prove to Leah we can do this. Come on.
And I have to present something for number two. So you just have to bear with me, Paulie. And I'm clock worthy. I'm clock aware. So stand by. Yeah. I got to share this. You know.
Tom, good call.
Here we go. Right here, buddy.
Yes.
You see this guy?
What, Jake Moody? That's our kicker. He's got an extremely big leg, as John Lynch says. Yes.
Well, and also, the team still has, quote, a lot of belief in Jake Moody.
Yeah.
The team is noted to have, quote, honest discussions, end quote, with Jake. So, Paulie.
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about if Jake Moody is back with your red and gold? Jake Moody, the 70% kicker of 2024, the kicker who missed 10 field goals, 24-34, the kicker who was 30th out of 31 kickers in ranking last year. How do you feel about Moody coming back to the red and gold?
Well, I mean, I don't know if he is. First of all, I don't know if that's a done deal, if that's actually going to happen. But how would I feel if he were to come back? Well, first of all, he had an injury last year, so he wasn't 100% healthy. John Lynch has talked about that. He goes, I think what you saw with all those misses is a reflection of his health. He wasn't healthy last year. But I think a lot of kicking, even though
if he wasn't healthy, why is he playing?
I can't answer. I cannot answer. I'm still wondering where the hell Robbie Gould went. Robbie Gould, was holding out for big money, and then he just freaking bowed out of the game. I don't think he was even a team picked him up last year. I don't know if he retired or if his price tag was just too high. But in any case, it wouldn't shock me if they bring Nick Mullins. I said Mullins because he was wearing number 4, and I had a Mullins rip, but I'll move that aside. Because
Nicky Mullins, Nick in the box.
And he had Nicky Mullins wore number 4 when he was quarterbacking. But in any case, I kind of expect Jake Moody to come back. That's kind of what I think we're going to see happen. Yeah, I know, but we're going to have to wrap our heads. Double. I know. But if he wets the bed early in the season, they'll cut him loose. They're not going to go
Why
through.
even wait? Why even wait for him to wet the bed, dude?
Well, because I think I can answer that because I think that he was a very high draft pick for the 49ers. They placed a lot in, they invested a lot in him, and I don't think they're ready to give up on him yet. That's my guess. I'm
ready. I'm ready.
I know. I think most Niner fans are, but I'm just telling you, brace yourself because I think you could see him back. I do.
A kicker should not be this much of a discussion on the team's off season, dude. Just cut the cord, man. There's so many other kickers out there. Like, I just move on. Kicking is unless
come on,
the Niners force Jake Moody to go on a vacation with Ray Wershing, and Ray Wershing talks to him about the mental side, the mental game of kicking. Yeah. And Ray Wershing says, you know what you do? You walk out there and you never look up at the goalposts. You put your hand on your holder's shoulder and you never look up at the goalposts, and you get locked in. Spend the weekend with Wershing. Maybe then I'll be good for Moody to come back.
And who is the holder for Wershing? None other than Joe Montana. Joe Blanken Montana. By the way, that was part of the quarterback's responsibilities in that era of football. Like, you were the starting quarterback. Get your ass back out there because you're holding the snap on the extra point. That Joe did it for years. All right, Tony. I wanted to say
number 3. Yeah, go ahead.
One last thing. I got to give Don Peralta a little bit of love. He had a really funny comment on the line. It made me laugh. He goes, for Matthew Stafford, if he winds up in Vegas with the Raiders, we were saying, how's he going to contend with the contradiction of the sin of Las Vegas with his Puritan lifestyle? And Dom goes, you know what we'll do? We'll put a confessional booth right next to the blue tent. I love that, Dom. So you can just go in and confess like between series. Fantastic.
Dude, maybe the Raiders hire like a team chaplain, like a team priest to just be with Stafford.
Yeah, let him travel. By the way, Leah has officially won the bet. We owe her $10. She said we couldn't do it in 10. You were 100% right, Leah. I tried. Let's get going. T with number 3. It's okay. Yeah.
And by the way, is it possible that maybe the Raiders develop like a silver and black robe and garments for the team chaplain priest?
He can start playing the songs and everything.
Right?
Yeah. Pregame. Forget about like a Lil Jon during the pregame workouts on the field when they're running plays and kicking field goals and stuff. Now we can start piping in like religious chants, like through him with him forever and ever. You know when they like sing it instead of yeah.
Hallelujah. Could you imagine if the confessional next to the blue tent had like the Raider logo on the confessional? It'd be amazing.
Yeah. With like Al Davis, like in a halo. Like, Al Davis, step into the tent, you bastard, and start confessing. Yeah. I know what you were doing last night. I see it all. Yeah. You're a sinner. You've always been a sinner. Yeah.
You got me with that one.
Yeah. Dude, I want Al Davis with the halo, bro, with a priest collar on. Yeah.
Dude,
you're a sinner. I can tell by looking at you. You son of a bitch. Get in here. Yeah. I want 10 Hail Marys, and they's giving out like the pennant. Give me 10 Hail Marys.
And one Our Father.
Yeah. I want 3 Our Fathers, 9 Hail Marys, and a donation to the Catholic charity of your choice. Now get the hell out of my tent. Yeah. Get out there and just win, baby. Yeah. Get the hell out of my confessional. I know the wheels are coming off, man. Sorry. Yeah. Reverend Al. Reverend Al. Yeah. I can tell by looking at you, you're a sinner. Yeah. Didn't I see you at Spearmint Rhino last night?
You got me.
I know. All right, see, I know it's pretty good. Al Davis, I love it. Well, it's all from Dom. That all came from Dom. Give me number 3. That was good.
Oh, sorry, man. PMP Army. God.
Yeah, that was fun.
Fantastic.
All right, give me number 3, Tony.
Number 3.
Yeah.
The Warriors are on and again, number 3 is a wild card. Doesn't have to be sports related. Number 3, the Dubs are in the honeymoon phase with this Jimmy Butler thing, right?
Yeah.
But as we all know, honeymoon.
Should we wrap? I love it. Tony's done. Let's wrap. I love it. We'll come back to look at my guy. We got him. We took Tony out today, man. We took his ass out. Look at him. I love this. Hey, Tony, you know what we're going to do? Why don't you dismiss the class? We'll come back. We're going to come back. I like ending on this note. This is a very high note. If you weren't able to get the wheels on. Dismiss the class, and then we'll get the music, and we'll say a proper goodbye. Go ahead.
How about this, Paulie? If the Warriors win tonight, we can still do number 3 tomorrow, okay?
Fine.
It'll still be pertinent. It'll still be pertinent tomorrow.
Okay, big show tomorrow. Gurlison, head coach of USF Dons, joins us. Kate Scott joins us. Also, the particle pick of the week, the musical assignment. We'll get back to our top 3, our unfinished business. We got unfinished business, Tony. Business.
Yes.
We're gonna handle all family business tomorrow, and that's BID-ness, business. We'll handle our business tomorrow. Look at Tony. Damn. Are you? What is it? Al Davis? Is that still got to look at him? Okay, I love this. I love seeing Tony like this. All right, you guys. Great time today. Patty, Escobar, Dom, all of y'all, John Joseph, SF Charlie. You guys are freaking great. David W. I want to do. Well, I just like seeing Tony losing shit like that. That was great. All right, confessional booth riffs. We'll continue those tomorrow as well. Everybody,
high noon.
Yeah,
high
enjoy
noon
your Thursday.
Tomorrow.
Go Warriors, go Dubs, and we'll see you tomorrow for high noon. You sons of bitches.
Oh, love you all. Love you all.
All right.
Peace. Peace.